The stakes are raised after one of the two Republican presidential frontrunners mounts a big response to a campaign trail challenge in a critical state. Good evening and welcome to the Kelly File, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. We are exactly 1 year out from the swearing in of the next president. Think about that. Just 12 days away from the first votes in the Republican nomination fight. And in Iowa, two men are out in front, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. Less than 24 hours ago, Mr. Trump electrifying a pumped-up crowd in Iowa, announcing the endorsement of former Governor Sarah Palin, which you heard about last night. Today, Senator Cruz's supporters responded. New reports that conservative media star Glenn Beck will appear with Senator Cruz in Iowa this weekend, with two of the senator's most prominent Iowa supporters taking to the airwaves. National co-chairman Congressman Steve King and influential evangelical leader Bob Vanderplaats, both speaking out on Cruz's behalf today. In moments, we will be joined by the national spokespeople for both the Trump and the Cruz campaigns, and they're going to have some things to say. But first, the Trump campaign continuing its rollout of Sarah Palin's endorsement before an overflow crowd of 15,000 down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Governor Palin delivered. Watch.
He has spent his life looking up and being optimistic and building big things that touch the sky, infrastructure that puts people to work. He has spent his life building up this success. So his power, when he's in D.C., it's not going to come off of opium, being high off opium, other people's money. That opium that other dopes in Washington sure get high off because they take it from you and then they distribute that other people's money. That's not Trump. His power, if you will, his passion is the fabric of America. It is work ethic and dreams and drive and faith in the Almighty, and that is America. Are you ready to share in that again, Oklahoma?
Kat Pearson is the national spokesperson for the Trump presidential campaign. Rick Tyler is the national spokesman for the Cruz presidential campaign. Good to see you both. Let me start with this, Kat. Is this dust-up awkward? Because if Donald Trump doesn't win, you're probably going to back Ted Cruz. And I have the same question for you, Rick, whether it's awkward because you're fighting, it's, you know, the Bloods fighting the Bloods, the Crips fighting the Crips. And it seems a little weird when you watch it because both of you guys are going to want Hillary or Bernie to lose. But right now, you got to fight with each other. Go ahead, Kat.
Well, I think, Megyn, only one person can win the nomination, and that's what we're seeing play out now. And it is unfortunate that there is this sort of what we're calling fighting here, but really it's not. What we have is a competition for the Republican nomination for 2016, and I think we can all agree that a lot of things have changed since 2008, and it's going to take someone that can do deals, that can do coalition building, which Donald Trump has shown that he can do and successfully. And so really it's coming down to who the Republicans want to represent them going after Hillary Clinton when we know we have to have a larger coalition in order to win in a general election.
Well, what do you make of it, Rick? Because Cruz's supporters say Trump isn't exactly known as a unifying force.
Well, he's not, and it's been interesting. Donald Trump has held liberal progressive views all his life. He's played for the other team. He's given lots and lots of money to Democrats, and I heard this morning from Donald Trump's son is that's what you have to do when you're in business. You have to pay off the other side. Well, that's being the paymaster for the cartel. And look, people are sick and tired of the deals. What they want is someone to unify the country, to get their congressmen in line to pass the things that they need to be passed. Not people who make deals and be beholden to K Street and the money on K Street in Washington and all insider games. That's not the way it works. The way you pass big, large legislation is you get the country on your side. You win the argument before you win the vote. That's what Margaret Thatcher said. It's good advice. And I think Donald Trump would not be able to do that, and Ted Cruz would.
Kat,
but
Glenn Beck
Megyn,
today, I'm going to give you the floor,
Trump.
but listen, Glenn Beck today, he came out and he said, I'm done with Sarah Palin. He doesn't think she's the conservative she once was. And he said, this is why. He said, big government, bailouts, executive orders, not just abortion, but partial birth abortion, nationalizing of banks, stimulus, pathway to citizenship, all these views were held by Trump during this administration. He said when Sarah and the Tea Party won a hard-fought election and were under attack in 2010, Trump was giving money to Pelosi, Reid, and Rahm Emanuel. Why is he wrong?
Well, I don't really give much stock into what Glenn Beck is saying right now, considering if you look at the movement, there are a lot of people coming in behind Donald Trump. And I keep hearing about all these liberal values, as Rick just mentioned, his whole life. But he was at the convention as George W. Bush's guest. He had supported Republicans in the past, like Mitt Romney and like John McCain, but we never hear about that, and we also never hear about the Republicans that Donald Trump has supported. And I think it's safe to say that you can hold a belief system at any point in time in your life, but when it comes to actually making decisions and implementing policies that affect millions of people, you probably don't want to do the whole do as I say, not as I do. But I will say this. Ronald Reagan was also a Democrat who also endorsed Democrats, campaigned for Democrats, held very liberal policies. He campaigned for Truman, who was far to the left of Barack Obama when it came to health care.
Go ahead, Rick.
People change. People change.
No, yep. Values don't change, but I'll tell you, Ronald Reagan's the Democratic Party Ronald Reagan grew up with is nothing like the Democratic Party of today. Ronald Reagan's Democratic Party wouldn't have conceived of partial birth abortion. They wouldn't have conceived of liberal policies. John F. Kennedy actually was for tax cuts because he knew it grew the economy. So that's not going to wash. Look, the reason Donald Trump has to answer for giving $50,000 to Rahm Emanuel, tens of thousands of dollars to the Democratic Party of New York, giving thousands of dollars to Anthony Weiner, Chuck Schumer, Rendell. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And so, yeah, he might have given money to Republicans, but the whole point is, and by the way, he's been given lots and lots of money to Mitch McConnell, and he gave lots of money under Speaker Boehner too. But that's the whole problem. The problem is the money and the influence. You can't say I'm against the cartel and then be the paymaster for the cartel. That's not. He has to answer to those questions. He hasn't. He's trying to hide behind Sarah Palin and her conservative values. But look, it won't work. Donald Trump is not who he says he is.
But Rick, is that just sour grapes because Cruz did not get the Palin endorsement?
Well, look, we would have loved to have gotten the Palin endorsement. Look, we tried to get 10 million conservatives plus one to come behind us, and we fell short the one. But look, we've got people coming, like you said. Glenn Beck will be with us in Iowa. We have actually more surprises coming. There'll be more conservative endorsements on the way. But it doesn't change anything we're doing. We don't make one less phone call. We don't knock on one less door. We've got 12,000 volunteers in Iowa now. We've got 700 people from out of state work in Iowa now, so we're excited. We've done
it's on. It's clear that the race is tight in Iowa, and it's one of theirs to win. Quickly, Kat, because I got to go.
But to Rick's point, you know, the Republican Party isn't the same as it was either, and that's the problem we have. And when we talk about partnering with the cartel, the grassroots Republican movement is against TPA and TPP, where Senator Cruz joined Paul Ryan to try to push that effort.
Don't ever say TPP on the show again. Nobody knows what that is. It's some trade deal.
Obama
It's going to take us a long time
trade.
to explain. All right, good to see you both.
Thank you, Megan.